Hi everyone, welcome back. So if you are new here, my name is Jen, and usually on this channel we talk about plants, but today we're going to do something a little bit different because I woke up this morning and I was really craving cardamom buns. And the thing is, I've never had cardamom buns. I don't know if this has happened to anyone else where you like crave something you've never had, but about 6 months ago, Kristen Jones posted a recipe for cardamom buns, and I think it's just kind of been like in my head ever since. But I woke up this morning and I like had to have it. So we're going to attempt to make it today. So I went to the grocery store to pick up, a bunch of stuff, not just like stuff for this recipe. And I went and got whole cardamom pods. This stuff was so expensive. This like little thing cost, I think, almost $15. So I really hope this recipe is worth it. But I am going to have to make some substitutes to the recipe she used because I don't have any yeast. Yeast is pretty much like sold out everywhere and I can't find any of it at this point. I've been looking for weeks. So I'm gonna make some substitutes. I hope they still taste good. I guess we'll see together. All right, let's get into it. Alright, so the first step is going to be preparing the cardamom. So I have cardamom in the pod. So what we're going to do first is using a knife, we're going to split the pods to get the seeds inside. And then I'm going to crush them up in this mortar and pestle. The whole recipe calls for about 3 teaspoons of cardamom in total. So we're going to try to do that. So this is what cardamom pods look like as a whole. All right. Okay, so basically what I'm doing, taking single cardamom pods, putting my knife vertical to it. The pod splits open, and then the seeds are inside. So I'm gonna shake some out. This is what it looks like. Alright, so I am going to be honest that I got bored of cracking open cardamom pods. So this is 1 teaspoon worth of cardamom seeds, which is enough to make the dough. I'll come back and make the rest for the filling later on. So I'm just going to dump that into my mortar and pestle and grind it up. Okay, so this is the texture I'm stopping at. So it's definitely finer than before, but it's still like quite a bit of texture left. I think this will be fine. All right, let's move on to the next step. Okay, so moving on to the next step, we are now going to be making our dough. I have my KitchenAid stand mixer here with the whisk attachment. This is 3 cups of all-purpose flour. We have here a tablespoon of baking powder plus a pinch of baking soda. I have a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. This is the 1 teaspoon of cardamom that we just ground up. This is a 1/4 cup of dark brown sugar, 5 tablespoons of butter that has been sitting to room temp, plus and back there is 1 cup of whole milk. You'll also need your dough attachment later on. Okay, so first thing that's going in the stand mixer, I'm going to be whisking together all of the flour plus the brown sugar, the cardamom, and the salt. Alright, all of the flour just went in, salt, cardamom, brown sugar. Okay. Alright, so now I'm going to switch out the attachment. Switching now to my dough hook. I'm going to incorporate the milk into the batter slowly. Okay, I'm also going to add in the baking powder and the baking soda at this point. Okay, this is what the dough looks like at this point. I am going to be adding in the butter, a couple cubes at a time. Okay, so now this is what the consistency of the dough looks like. It's definitely quite nice. I'm going to flour this surface. Flour my hands, and then I'm going to dump out this dough. A bun shaped. I've also prepared here a metal bowl that has been greased with some oil. Alright. So this is all of the dough. Going to roll it to make into a ball shape. Roll it into a ball shape, and then I'm going to pull the dough over. Pull, 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 pull the dough. This side. Pull, 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 pull the dough. And now that there is a seam right here, I'm going to flip, put into the bowl, seam side down. This is what it looks like. And now I'm going to put it into a nice warm place for about 40 minutes. Okay, so now I'm going to make the filling. We're back in my stand mixer now with the paddle attachment. This time I'm adding in about roughly 4.5, almost 5 tablespoons of softened butter. Put that in. And then I'm going to whisk that with 1/3 cup of dark brown sugar. This is 1.5 teaspoons of ground up cardamom seeds. I'm also going to add in 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. So let's cream it together. That's looking great. Absolutely like the consistency we are looking for. Okay, are you guys ready to check on the dough? Whoa! I don't think it like rose all that much, but remember that I don't have any yeast in my dough, and if you have yeast, it'll probably rise a lot more. All right, we're gonna roll this out now. Okay. Go ahead and roll it out. Okay, so now I'm going to take my filling and just spread it on top. Okay, so now that the filling has been spread, I'm going to fold it in thirds. And then I'm going to roll it slightly. Flatten it out a little bit. Okay, so now that the dough has been rolled a little bit flatter, I'm going to go ahead and cut it into strips. I would say about maybe 1/4 inch in thickness. Okay, so I'm mostly following her tutorial. I've never done this before, obviously. So it kind of looks like you go around and around again, and then you tuck it into the top, and then you flip it so that that becomes the top. Okay, I'm going to try it again to see if I can get a prettier one. Ooh, that one looks good. Alright, so these are what the buns look like before they go in the oven, and they're going to go into the oven at 435. I have a second sheet as well. That's what that looks like. With you. If you are using yeast, remember to let these sit and proof for a while, but I'm not using yeast, so there's really no need to wait for it to proof if there's no yeast. So I'm just waiting for the oven to preheat now. Alright, so my bun is in the oven, and I just went ahead and made this topping. So it is 1/4 cup of hot water, 1/4 cup of dark brown sugar. The recipe called for light brown, but I didn't have any, so just use dark brown. 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. I used 1 teaspoon of granulated sugar, and then 1/2 teaspoon of the whole cardamom seed, not crushed up this time. That's what this is, and then we're just going to wait for the buns to come out of the oven. Woo! Those look so good. Okay, now I'm gonna immediately put my mixture on top. Okay, so this is what the final product looks like. I ended up putting it back in the oven after spreading the topping on top. Ah! I got it. I'm leaving that in. All right, are you ready? It's good, but I probably would not put the cardamom seeds in the topping next time because it's kind of bitter if you bite into a whole cardamom, but it's really good. You should definitely try this recipe.
Ooh. Mmm.
Is it good?
Mm-hmm. Crispy.
Ayy.